Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, I thought I'd have a really good look at these leeks. Now, these were planted in the material bags. The reason I did that was so I could move them about. I put 6 here and 6 on the other allotment, mainly to try and stop the allium leaf miner. Well, we all know that didn't happen. And in my playlists is where I planted them. The second video is when we got attacked by the allium leaf miner, and these 6 weren't as bad as the other 6. I'll show you shortly. But what I had to do was cut them off right at the bottom. You can see the leaves where I cut them off originally, and that isn't too long ago. They've really come back with a vengeance. Not sure whether we'll get much growth, but they're about, they're a finger thick. Still make us a meal. Don't forget, one of these pots will make a stew, and we've got 12 pots, so that's more than enough for the winter. And we've missed the second round of the allium moth. The first one comes round about March to June, and then September to November. So hopefully now these won't get affected again. But they have come on leaps and bounds, and thank you very much for everyone's advice on this. And say they're going to stay here now, and hopefully we'll get a decent crop from them. But yeah, have a look back on the playlist if you're interested in how I've brought these back to life, basically. Let's go have a quick look at the ones that were in a real poor state. And as you can see, these aren't as good as the others. Some are better than others, of course. But the main aim, let's just settle you down. The main aim, even with these worst ones, was where I cut them off at the bottom. I actually opened them up and looked for any evidence of the grub burrowing down. Now I thought I'd got everything. Then another video, somebody had spotted that some of the grubs had actually got into their dormant state, ready to fly off as a moth. So didn't actually, I wasn't quick enough, should we say. So next time, any signs and they'll be off at the bottom. So let's have a quick look around what I've been up to. I haven't managed to do what I wanted to do on Saturday because of the weather, and I've been out gritting all night. So we're on Sunday the 28th, I think. I'm all mixed up now with the losing the hour as well. And we've got this bed tidy. So we've gone from that. We've literally lifted the strawberries up and planted them nice and evenly spaced. The apples are still holding on for dear life. I'm not taking those off until they want to come off. A lot of these strawberry plants came out of those troughs that had the vine weevil in, so they're going there, and they'll be going into the strawberry tower with built-in wormery, which I was going to do yesterday, but the weather wasn't favourable, so I'll leave that till I'm on holiday. Found another 200 odd litres of spent compost, as well as another 180 that went into this container here. And if you remember, I actually pinched the compost from here to help fill this little trial strawberry tower. Still haven't collected the tomatoes to get them ripened off at home, but that'll be one of the jobs when I get back from work one evening. Well, mind you now, it'll probably be too dark by the time I get back. The manure bin on plot 1, I've added another 10 bags, and it looks like it's nearly ready for another 10. And in my fruit cage on plot 3, it looks like one of the posts has rotted off and dropped over, so that's another winter job. Volunteer poppy. I'll be saving the seeds and popping those onto the wildflower garden. Back at home in the greenhouse grow room, I noticed that The beans, the broad beans that I didn't select, have still grown, so they'll go and join their friends in behind this fleece. We're due another hard frost tonight here in the UK, so I don't think these will be here much longer, but by gum, wasn't it well worth doing a successional sowing. Not sure how these sweet peppers will do within the frost. I think they're supposed to go red, but I'll still pick them green. Can't be asked to wait, especially with there being so many. But I'm hoping to take one or two of these into the greenhouse grow room, and also I'm going to cut some off down here and then fill the street lamp with soil, see if it'll overwinter outside. Not what's having much hope for the celery. I think perhaps closer together. They've had plenty of water. Just don't seem to do very well myself with celery. But you know, it's always worth having a go. And we'll just bring you around. And I've started to manure the bed there. I've got the cardboard on and plenty of spare materials that can be just dumped on there. They'll be out the way for now, but I think these will be coming out, and I may just leave those in, the ones that I'm going to leave in, but this is where the brassica cage will be going next year. The giant vegetables are in there now. I've put a cover on them so that they don't get too wet, and hopefully I'll be able to get some seed from them. And I'm just working my way across now to get this sorted and get this all dug over. So now looking at the carrot box, all the carrots there have gone. We've still got the bulk of these to harvest, but what I am thinking about doing is I'll probably take a few more, and then I'm going to cut all the tops off when they start dying off a little bit, and then I'm going to fill it with my spent compost and see if they're better to be left within the ground but covered up, because once you pull a carrot, it loses its lifeline to any moisture it can find, and it starts to go limp. My red electric onions have now got the roots firmly in the ground. I'm unable to pull them up, and at the moment there's no sign of the garlic at the far end. We've had to take an old shed down on the allotment site, and we thought these may be metal, but they're actually like the rubberoid type sheets, and I thought they might come in handy to cover the compost bins and collect water. And the homemade roof, so these planks are about 2 meters long or more, and so I thought, well, do I set out the blue barrels down this side, because this bed, it's been in 4 years probably, maybe less than that, but set it out like I've got it on this side with the blue barrels, but using the timber I've got now is to make a raised bed down the full length of the middle, leaving enough room for the water tank, and have more carrots, because we eat lots of carrots, we eat a moderate amount of potatoes, but they're easily stored, but just desperate for more carrots. So I think that may be a project. And guess what, the clamp might be in the way, so I may have to leave this till February, March time. I've opened one of the flower buckets up with some of the small of carrots. The tops were covered in clover and everything, but I was quite surprised when I tipped it out just to get the compost that they were worth taking, and will make a nice meal. Mice, well, thank you to the 2 people who mentioned about rodents, because I immediately put my mouse traps in here, away from the actual where I normally keep them, and I think I've got 15 up to yet. So let's hope that I can keep catching them and they don't decide to use this as a hotel, which will be all inclusive. These are one of the carrot buckets that were full of that clover. And as you can see, some of the carrots there got accidentally pulled out, but I'm going to cover those up. That'll be the next bucket, then I'll work my way across, but I'll cover these up for now so they don't go green, and make a nice little meal. And I've just damped the top of the compost down, and with the frost coming tonight, I'm going to fleece my solitary, poor, weedy Christmas potatoes. Hopefully it'll produce enough for what we want on Christmas Day. Still got a few tomatoes ripening, but I did say must get those in. The 3 onions, the largest electric onion and a couple of Kelsey, they're there. They're both rooted, all 3 have rooted down now. That was the onion that I tried to grow in a container full of wood chips, so we'll see how they go. And there's the trailing tomatoes, the seeds. I've got the Gigantimo and some of the other seeds at home that I'm just about to put into containers. Thanks for watching, guys, commenting, subscribing. Thanks for all your help. Without your comments, I can't improve, and I hope what I share you learn something from. I don't edit. Pause and record, that's all I do. So if I go wrong, we go wrong. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now. And just before I go, please go and see Allotmental's video. He set us a little challenge. So pop over to his channel, have a look at the challenge, and join us all in that hashtag. Happy gardening!